Welcome to the Casey Ingram Show, Meet Your Candidate series. No spin, no agenda, no endorsements, just the candidate. Before we begin, I'd like to thank the many listeners who submitted questions for this interview. Several of those questions have been incorporated into today's discussion. Questions are not shared with the candidates prior to the interview. If you enjoy the show and would like to stay informed on local issues and elections, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I'm Casey Ingram. Let's get into it. Cherie White is running for Martin County School Board, District 1. Welcome to the show, Cherie.
Hi, thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Can you tell viewers a little bit about yourself and what life experiences and qualifications have prepared you to serve on the Martin County School Board?
Sure. So I've lived on the Treasure Coast for almost 44 years. I'm married. I have three grown children, all who have attended public schools. My oldest is a teacher, and he actually teaches special needs children. I have a degree in elementary education and about 37, 38 years of municipal government experience. So, with that, I bring a rare, comprehensive combination of frontline classroom experience and municipal leadership to this race. Having served as a former educator, I understand the day to day challenges teachers and students face inside of our classroom. So, the school district needs to get back to the basics and focus on our reading and math scores. So, that's my biggest thing. But I have a wide variety of experience. My role as a city clerk, finance director, and HR director. They kind of give me a deep operational expertise in balancing multi-million-dollar public budgets and also managing a workforce. So that's a little bit about me.
Thank you for that very much. Now, you mentioned your
Sure.
kids attended public school. That is one of the questions if they've ever attended Martin County Public Schools.
Yes. So my oldest son and my middle son both attended school in St. Lucie County. And my daughter attended school in St. Lucie County, but graduated in Martin County at Jensen Beach High School.
Okay. And how has that experience shaped your views on public education?
So I think that public education is so important to our students and their learning ability. I feel that the schools, the Hope schools and the charter schools, they don't give the wide variety of education that students need. I do understand that they do possess the um, the qualifications for the one-on-one kind of classroom, but I think the public education is something that is something that all of our students should participate in. They're not in a bubble, so to speak.
And that was actually going to be one of my questions was charter schools. As a school board member, what is your role in working with charter schools and also the funding sources from charter schools?
So, according to Florida statute, so I think I've got it right, 1002.333, it states that a school of hope may co-locate with another school in a public school facility, and they can come in and just set up the classroom in underused and vacant or surplus school district facilities. That concerns me. I think that parents should have a choice to be able to choose where their children should go. But this, as a school board member reviewing a charter school proposal or evaluating an existing one, my primary focus would be balancing the autonomy with accountability. I would evaluate whether the school delivers on its promises, operates legally, and would serve responsible stewardship of the taxpayer funds.
Okay. Are you able to do that effectively? Is there a authority of the school board, Martin County School Board, to have that authority over the charter schools?
Well, over the charter schools themselves, I really don't know what the legalities are as far as the school district goes and the school board and their authority over charter schools. I know that they're governed by Florida statutes and they are allowed to exist. I think that we need to uh, work with our legislators and focus on how that can be balanced properly.
Very good. Martin County schools generally perform well compared to many districts across Florida. What do you believe the district is doing well, and where do you see the greatest opportunity for improvement?
Oh, So the district does do very well. I think that this, could you repeat the question again? I'm sorry.
Yes, I was just asking where you think the district is doing very well and where do you think the greatest opportunity for improvement is?
So I think the district is doing very well. I think we need to focus on literacy. Literacy is a very big stumbling block right now for Martin County and for the whole state of Florida.
Mm.
I think that we need to focus on math and literacy as our core, um, and that would be something that I would strive for, to focus on that.
Okay. Fast scores and other academic metrics have shown improvement in recent years. What specific actions would you support to continue accelerating student achievement? And please be specific as possible.
Oh, so student achievement, I think, is what you're asking me, and how I would support continuing that. Is that
Yes,
what
through
you're
the
asking?
yeah, I mean with the fast scores, which of course is measuring their academic performance and achievements, it has
So
been improving. And what would you advise to continue that and even accelerate those improvements?
So improving it would go back to the phonics and math. So securing foundational literacy, enforcing daily, explicit, and systematic phonics instruction in early elementary grades. That is key. We need to make sure that our elementary school kids have the strong, solid foundation in literacy. Um, I think that we could create a dedicated 45-minute daily period for targeting the tier two interventions, and that giving them that dedication of 45 minutes, but without taking them away of the core math and reading classes.
What do you mean by the tier two interventions?
Tier two are the lower the lower classes, the classes that don't do as well, the students that need extra help.
Okay.
So the tier two are the students that are in the middle. There's tier one and tier two and tier three, but the
Okay.
tier two would be the not so bad, but not great.
Okay, thank you for that clarification for us that are
Sure.
not involved. Teacher recruitment and retention are frequently discussed during campaigns. Beyond simply saying we need to support teachers, what specific policies or initiatives would you champion to attract and retain high quality educators?
So, school leaders should model the behaviors that they want to see, that we should be approachable, supportive, and committed to their profession without micromanaging. So, visible leadership is a signal that their work is valued. Teacher retention is critical to students' education. And I spoke with many parents that were leaving the school because they felt that having five, sometimes six different teachers in one school year was difficult, especially to those students with special needs that finally connect with a teacher.
Mhm.
And then they leave, or they transfer due to the staffing shortages. So they move the teacher that everybody connects with into another classroom because they're needed. This can be devastating to a child's performance. So, what would I mean, we need to value our teachers. We need to show them that we value their profession, and that we support them in, and we need to make sure that they have better access to affordable health insurance. I know the school district is looking at something right now. I actually got an email from someone who made a proposal to the school district about, saving a lot of money towards health insurance. But I mean, that is a huge burden on teachers right now. And that was one of the reasons why I stepped away from teaching, was I couldn't afford the health insurance
Mm,
for my family.
okay.
So
Yes, it is a big issue. Artificial intelligence is rapidly changing education. What role should AI play in Martin County classrooms, and where should limits be placed?
well, first of all, like I said, our kids need to get back to basics. I think that AI is taken away from the learning fundamentals, the foundation of how our kids actually learn. And when you put AI into it, it thinks for them. So then they have no comprehension of real life and what happens in the real life. So I don't support AI in the classroom, and I think that I think that if they want to use AI at the college level, it's I know my daughter attended college and they were using it quite frequently in the college, but it did concern me because, her comprehension, her learning comprehension was stifled. It wasn't, she wasn't learning anything by having it do it for her.
Okay. School safety remains a top concern for parents. What additional measures, if any, would you support to improve student and staff safety?
So, of course, school safety is a big concern. I know Martin County aligns with the Partner Alliance for Safer Schools. They do follow some of their comprehensive combination of approaches to school safety. In some cases, they do implement restricted single point entry systems, electronic doors. They have their scan badges that they have to use. And they also integrate law enforcement partnerships and training for secure campuses. Um, and one of the other things that I focus on a lot is we need to make sure that we're establishing multidisciplinary assessment teams to identify and investigate and intervene with students or individual who exhibit warning signs of violence. Mental health and wellness is key to our students right now. I know that the school district also conducts regular age appropriate drills and to build memory for students and staff during a crisis situation. I live near Jensen Beach High School, where there was definitely a critical situation that happened here recently. And I did speak with the Stewart Police Chief, and I spoke with the Martin County Sheriff's Office. And I did ask them what their response time was, and they basically said it was less than a minute. So
Wow.
I was very pleased that both of our sheriff's office and our city police responded immediately. They do have a sheriff on. They do have school resource officers and campus. So
Would you support expanding into the Guardian program?
I have looked into the Guardian program, and I know that one of the other candidates is strongly supporting the Guardian program. I would definitely need to learn more about how other districts are using the program, its pros, its cons. I would speak with the sheriff to discuss how the department feels about the program, since they actually are required to provide all the necessary training for the guardians. So.
Okay. So, how should the district balance parental rights with the judgment of education professionals?
So I think the balance, the two, we need a clear legal framework and transparent communication. Strong parental inclusiveness is key. I think that definitely having that parent connection is primarily the only way that you're going to incorporate decision making, and hold regular open forums to discuss curriculum and policy changes. I understand that the district does have committees that vet policies, but I'm hearing that we need to make it more inclusive. The job of the school district is public education, and it must serve the interest of all students, providing an inclusive education within the legal obligation, of course, of the district. Definitely something that we need to do better at.
Okay. So, library books and instructional materials continue to be a topic of debate throughout Florida. What standards should be used when determining whether materials remain available in schools, and where do you believe the line should be drawn?
So I know that Martin County books were removed as an administrative directive to comply with Florida state law, House Bill 1467. Under the district's policy, Florida law, once a formal parent challenges it is submitted, a certified media specialist reviews the text. I think the school board only should be involved if it requires an appeal by the parent that the book should or should not have been removed. So, but I would trust the media specialist to do what they do and follow the law, the
Okay.
state law.
The Matt Theobald matter generated significant public attention and strong opinions throughout Martin County. Had you been serving on the board at the time, would you have supported the board's decision regarding Matt Theobald? Why or why not?
So I did hear about this through the media. Of course, I don't have all the facts, so I can't say that how I would have voted in this case, and I really have no legal opinion about how that all unfolded. I just don't. I don't have all the facts, and I would go by the facts and the
Okay.
law.
Okay. The renovated Martin County High School pool is a significant community asset. Do you believe it should be opened more broadly for affordable swim lessons, recreational swimming, and community access? If so, how would you balance community use with student programs, and how should those costs be funded?
Um, so I understand that the pool has been closed for a year and a half. I also understand that that pool was used in years past for swimming lessons for the community. It was a community pool. I personally believe that it should be open to the community. I think that if the school district can find a way to train students into the lifeguard career, that they could be utilized to do the work study program at the pool. And, of course, they would have to be certified, but certainly it's something that we need to consider.
Okay. And then if you're bringing the public in, how about the funding aspect? Is the school going to cover all the cost of the pool, or how do you see that?
Well, I know that the organization that is working towards a referendum, which I did sit down and I did look at, and I definitely would consider looking at something that would incorporate a referendum to include $5 more a year for every resident in Martin County, and that funding would go into support covering the cost of maintaining the pool and also possibly bringing pools into other high schools. My daughter was on the swim team at Jensen Beach High School, and she had to go to Sailfish Splash and Fort Pierce to do her classes for swim
Okay.
lessons. So I think it would be a great asset to the community to have a pool. And we send all of our kids to the Environmental Studies Center. That is a requirement of Martin County. I think it should be a requirement. I know in some counties, it's required that all third grade students learn how to swim. So I think it
Okay.
would be a great asset to the community to have that pool.
Great. Thank you for that. What
Sure.
qualities do you believe are most important in an effective superintendent, and how would you evaluate whether the district is moving in the right direction?
So I think the qualities of a good superintendent is to be committed to his profession and to the Martin County School District and to the staff and teachers. The school board is a policymaking board. I think you asked me if I thought that he was doing a good job.
I just was asking you more how you would evaluate whether the district is moving in the right direction, and what qualities you look for in that superintendent to that he's effective, or what are you judging him on to ensure effectiveness in your view?
So I think he's doing a good job. I think that we can always do better. We can always improve. I know that the scores just came out for the state, and they ranked high in this in his role as the superintendent, which I think is wonderful. I think it's a great job. I think he's moving towards becoming a better school district. I think it's I support that he just keep going forward and focusing on trying to do what's best for Martin County and the students.
Okay. So those scores would be what you would use to evaluate his performance. Is that fair to say, or no?
I would say yes. The scores of the I think that of course having feedback and insight from teachers and staff is important. I think the I don't know how the school board does an evaluation for the superintendent. I'm not on the school board, so
Right.
I didn't look that deeply into it. I did meet with him. I think that he needs strict governance, fiduciary, and making sure that labor contracts are reviewed, and that, we look towards a good fiscally sound school district
Looking
and
ahead
one that
4 years.
has good
Oops,
teachers.
I'm sorry, Cherie. Go ahead and finish up. I
And
interrupted
and
you.
one that has supportive teachers.
Perfect. Thank you. Looking ahead 4 years, what would success look like for Martin County schools?
I think the success for Martin County Schools is definitely teacher retention and making sure that our teachers have the support that they need. Um, I think that for me, a good solid budget is important. Policies that are enforceable, policies that are workable, but not to infringe on what the teachers do and what they do best. I think that our students need policies in place, and I think that they definitely do a good job at a lot of policies. But I think that we could definitely make it more transparent to the parents and to the students of the policies, because it's something that we need to work towards, because I know a lot of teachers say, oh, I didn't know that policy was in place. So I think we need to be more transparent, and I think that that would be something that I would definitely try to bridge the gap.
What is one issue facing Martin County schools that you believe is not receiving enough public attention?
One issue that I feel, and we'll go back to I think what we need to focus on is we need to focus on less micromanaging from the district. And I hear a lot of teachers and a lot of parents that are just kind of done, and they want to not have their children go to public school anymore because they feel there's too much micromanaging, too much coming down from the district. That I know that's kind of a different from the policies, but it is a lot of micromanaging, and I think we need to let the teachers and the principals run their schools.
How much time should students spend on screens during the school day? And do you think we become too dependent on technology in education?
Absolutely. I think that screen time should be limited by age group. I think the younger the student is, I think the screen time should be maybe 30 minutes a day. The rest of the time should be on academics. And when you get into middle school, maybe 45 minutes, and high school, an hour. I
What
think
is,
that I know it's kind of harsh, but I think that we need to focus on not screen time, not spreadsheets, not PowerPoints, but actual work.
Appreciate that direct
So,
answer. Sherry,
sure.
what is one thing the current school board is doing well and one thing you would change?
Um, I think the one thing that they're doing well is I think they work well together as a board. I think they're all on the same page. Um, I personally want to look more into the health of the teachers, and their benefits is one thing that we need to focus on for the staff and for the teachers. And we also need to look at more help for the disadvantaged students, those students who may need extra help, those students who are a little behind in their literacy. And I
Well,
know the school board should not micromanage that. That should be the teachers. But when you have so much going on at the state level and so many restrictions at the state level, I think our school board needs to work with our state legislators to try and again get back to the basics. So
yeah, and reading is so important. What is one
yes.
way you could see supporting the students that are falling behind? Is it bringing in, tutors into the classroom, or what? What? How do you see that
So
working?
I think community connection. We have a lot of businesses and a lot of governments and a lot of health professionals that all work and live in Martin County. I know for me, when I worked for the municipal government, our city manager allowed us 2 hours a week, and they would allow us to go to the elementary school and read with those students who were a little behind. I did bring that up to Mr. Maine, and he thought it was, I guess he wasn't aware of that. But I mean, that's something that the school district could reach out to those businesses and, allow we have lots of people, we have lots of retired people. I think we need to focus on getting our students reading and their literacy grades up. So
The
I enjoyed
district,
it.
what was that?
I enjoyed doing that.
Oh, very good. Yeah, that's a very interesting program. I
Yes.
had not heard about it before either. The district has shown improvement in several key performance measures. Why do you believe a change in leadership is needed?
Um, as far as the school board or the school superintendent?
School board, your position.
So, so for my position, I feel that I could bring a fresh perspective and a new perspective. Um, my opponent has been on the board for 12 years. They changed the law back in, I think it was 4 or 5 years ago. So they changed the law that school board members would serve an 8-year term and then they would be termed out. So in this particular case, I mean, there's a reason they did that. So I think that, I can bring strong leadership that supports our educators, teachers, and students. I would, definitely drive my passion to provide the dedicated educational stewardship that the community needs. I also, I do have that fiscal background, so I know what it's like to run big budgets. Yeah, so I think a fresh perspective, and she's on her 12th year, and I think she would go another 4 years at this point. So that's a lot of time. So I think we need some fresh eyes and fresh perspective.
Cherie, how can voters support your campaign and learn more about you?
So I am on social media on my Facebook page, Cherie White. I also have a QR code and a website that you can visit, and I'll hold it up for the viewers to see. So if you scan the QR code, it will take you right to my website, and there is a donate page on there, so you can donate to my campaign or just email me. Email me with your questions or comments or anything that you feel that I need to know, that would help me understand what everybody's looking for.
Well, Cherie White, thank you so much. It's really been a pleasure getting to know you here today, and I know the listeners appreciate it as well. So Cherie's running for Martin County School Board, District 1, and we wish you well out there on the campaign trail.
Thank you so much.
My
Thank you for
pleasure.
having me.
My pleasure. Don't forget to follow the Casey Ingram Show on Facebook and subscribe on YouTube for more real talk you won't hear anywhere else. I'm Casey Ingram. Stay informed, stay engaged, and I'll see you on the next episode.